So this question went viral in 2015 for being the impossible question that no one could answer. So I thought, let's have a go at doing it. So it was question number 19 on the paper, and it was on the higher paper. So there are n sweets in a bag. Doesn't tell us how many sweets, just that there are n. 6 of the sweets are orange, and the rest of the sweets are yellow. Hannah takes at random a sweet from the bag. She eats the sweet. Hannah then takes at random another sweet from the bag, and she eats that sweet. The probability that Hannah eats 2 orange sweets is a third. Show that n squared minus n minus 90 is 0. So it feels like this comes a little bit out of nowhere. But with a show that question, all we're going to do is we're going to do what they're asking us to do in the question and then show that we get the same answer as them. So we're never going to start with this. We're just going to show that we get the same answer. So what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the probability that Hannah eats 2 orange sweets. So this question is feeling a little bit like a tree diagram. If you imagine we've got our tree diagram here, it would show everything that can happen. So she could take for the first sweet, it could be an orange or it could be a yellow. And then for the second sweet, it could be an orange or it could be a yellow. It could be an orange or it could be a yellow. So there are the 4 different scenarios, either orange-orange or orange-yellow or yellow-orange or yellow-yellow. Those are the 4 different things that can happen. In this question, we're interested in these branches here. So we're interested in the probability of orange the first time and the probability of orange the second time. Now, the first time round, the probability of taking an orange sweet is 6 out of n, because there are 6 orange sweets and there are n sweets altogether. Now, when it comes to take the second sweet here, there is now no longer 6 orange sweets in the bag. There's now 5 orange sweets because she's eaten 1 orange sweet already. So we've got 5 orange sweets left for this probability out of, and again, we've eaten one of the sweets, or Hannah's eaten one of the sweets. So instead of having n sweets, you've now got n minus 1. So what do we do when we want this to happen and this to happen? We multiply along the branches. So I'm now going to do 6 over n times by 5 over n minus 1. And we know that that equals a third because we're told that that probability is a third. Let's just give ourselves a bit more room here. So when we multiply fractions, we do the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. So writing this down here, 6 times 5 is 30 over n multiplied by n minus 1, and that equals a third. Now, when you have fractions on both sides of an equals, we just want to get rid of any denominators, you can actually cross multiply. So we can multiply both sides by 3, which means this 3 needs to multiply up here, and we can multiply both sides by n open bracket n minus 1, which means this needs to go up here. So 30 times 3 is 90, and that equals 1 lot of n minus 1. So this just becomes this by cross multiplying. Expanding that out, 90 equals n squared minus n. I've just done n times n and n times minus 1. And then now it's looking a lot like the thing we're trying to get. But all we need to do is make it equal 0 because it's a quadratic. And to do that, we're going to take 90 away from both sides. So n squared minus n minus 90 equals 0. And we've got the answer that we were supposed to get. Now part B asks me to then solve it to find the value of n. So this is a quadratic. We're actually going to solve it by factorising. This is a non-calculator paper. So to factorise this, I'm going to put it into 2 brackets. And we need 2 numbers that multiply to make 90, minus 90, and add to make minus 1, because remember n on its own is just 1n. So that's going to be 10 and 9. So I'm going to do n minus 10, n plus 9. That equals 0. And so we've got 2 solutions, either n equals 10 or n equals minus 9. Can we have negative 9 sweets? No, we can't. So in this situation, n equals 10 would be our answer. And that was a further 3 marks. 6 marks altogether. What do you think? Do you think it was impossible or do you think it was okay?